Now, this week also marks 50 years since King Charles visited the Magic Circle's headquarters. Following his performance, he was elected to membership of the Inner Magic Circle with Gold Star. Andrew, what can you tell us about this? You're also a member.
Oh, I am. How glorious is this? So he was a young King Charles. He came along and basically 50 years ago, and he came along. He was 26 at the time. And the Magic Society, Magic Circle, is the premier magical society in the world. We have 1,700 members, including Penn and Teller and Dynamo and David Copperfield and lots of other people. Even people like racing drivers. Nigel Mansell is a member. We meet regularly, and it's all united by a love of magic. But in order to get in, you basically had to do an examination. I'm one of the examiners. I wasn't for Charles. He's a little bit older than me. And what happened is he came along and he did the famous cups and balls, and he was taught that by a friend of his uncle, the Louis Mountbatten, who also had a lovely love and passion for magic. And one of his friends was Commander Robert Pass, and he'd been visiting various places, and he picked up these wonderful cups and balls, which you can see in our museum. And the original ones are there. I sent you a little photo of that as well, yeah, which we can go and so members of the public can come along and see these wonderful artifacts. And the actual cups, as I say, were lent to him by Commander Robert de Pass. And he basically, as a young sailor, he bought them on the streets of Cairo whilst he was on the shore in 1942. So a wonderful memory there. So yes, Charles is celebrating 50 years, but the one trick I'm sure he would love to do is to make Prince Andrew disappear. Because you work on that basis. And even when he went down to Lichfield Cathedral, he met a very good friend of mine, Sebi Hall, who's has got various disabilities, but he's been doing an act of kindness every day for a number of years and raised thousands of pounds for charity. He met King Charles, and it was a wonderful sort of moment. But yes, Charles, as a member of the Magic Circle, we will cherish that, and we're delighted every time he mentions it.
Look, finally, before I let you go, we have to quickly talk about Meghan Markle. She's apparently reeling after a former friend, Victoria Beckham's latest success, has put her own efforts under renewed scrutiny. Of course, Meghan's not all that happy about Victoria Beckham's latest Netflix documentary, and she's apparently shaken by it because of the success around Victoria Beckham's documentary. You know, it's certainly seen as a much bigger success than With Love, Meghan.
Well, it certainly is that. She's not just shaken, she's spitting feathers and those edible flowers. As I keep saying, she's working on that basis. So what this is I was very Netflix has been very generous. They invite me to a lot of these premieres. So I went to go and see Beckham, which was all about her husband David Beckham. First of all, this was following on the success of that, and they announced they were going to do one about Victoria. It's a wonderful documentary, a three-part series exposing the highs and lows of her career, obviously as a Spice Girl and the joys of that, and the reunion tour, but also the downfall of her fashion business and how she struggled with that, and then built it up to success. So it's a warts and all documentary, but the success of it is exactly that. And I think Victoria's sort of turning round. It's whilst basically Victoria's documentary didn't eclipse David's one, the previous one, her scoring had these wonderful scores on a tomato meter. So this is all to do with Rotten Tomatoes. And apparently what happened is Victoria's rating, she's got 44% on the tomato meter and 77% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, compared to Meghan's 38% and 33% for season one of Meghan's series, and 17% and 27% for season two. So Meghan is indeed shaken by this. There is that rivalry. They were invited to their wedding and so on and so forth, but they fell out a bit because there was a time when they sort of turned around and she thought there were secrets were being revealed, and Meghan apparently accused Victoria of leaking private stories to the press. The accusation proved untrue. It turned out, I think it was a beauty salon or something to do it. But the relationship has been strained ever since. And there is that sort of ongoing competition. But the Netflix ratings are certainly going to be the final nail in that particular coffin.
UK barrister and broadcaster and president of Octopus TV, Andrew Eborn, thank you so much for joining us.
Lovely. I look forward to seeing you next week.